Icheniaton, Campenton Kuntumea, Isabela Parapote. Good evening. I just said that my name is Isabela and my indigenous name is Parapote. Today, I came here to give you a warning. Based on my life experience as an inhabitant of a racially mixed country, Brazil. The Brazilian population was born out of a violent colonization and forced miscegenation process. And my family, consequently me, was born in the middle of the chaos. People don't know the real pain and fight of colonization in our schools. People don't know what really happened with native communities in the US, or Canada, or Congo, or Australia. People don't know what really happened in Brazil. The history books were not written by the colonized, but by the colonists. I come from a Brazilian black and indigenous family. My parents had a really tough life. At the age of 7, my dad used to sell roses at the traffic lights. When my sister and I were born, they did all they could to give us the best quality of life. We had the privilege of studying in high-quality schools, living in non-violent places, and even learning other languages. Statistically speaking, people like me shouldn't be here. Not on a stage or doing a speech. In other words, by possessing conditions that for the majority of my people are out of reach, I live in a place that wasn't built considering my people's way of living. Black and indigenous communities didn't destroy the environment to develop as a civilization, but they couldn't express their opinions when the world was being constructed. They couldn't tell society what their idea of progress was. Studies have shown that my ancestors and many communities all over the world have been living sustainably for millions or even billions of years. The world we see today is a world that was built with our hands through slavery. But it wasn't built considering our culture and beliefs. That's why today, through this speech, I will be the voice that was repressed for all those years. And in the name of my ancestors and in the name of my people, who were and still are truly nature protectors, I come here to give you this warning. We, as a young generation, are witnessing nature destruction. Species from all over the world are being made extinct. Global temperature is changing. Animals are being massively killed for human consumption. Rivers are being contaminated. Plastic is suffocating our oceans. Forests are being demolished to become cities and industries. We are polluting our own oxygen. We built huge weapons, nuclear weapons that could destroy whole cities, countries within seconds. We are slowly killing ourselves. Anxiety and depression rates are globally growing. Young people are committing suicide now more than ever. By living the world of virtual reality, we stop looking around. Nature's destruction equals more money. More money equals progress. Now, I want you all to stop and think for a minute. Do you really believe that we are making progress or advancing? Do you really believe that this progress is actually a way of moving forward? The modern world clearly needs alternatives, and we must recognize this. We, as young people, are molding the world and its future. Everything we do today, we have a result in the future. Imagine you have in your hands a lot of seeds. If you plant one of those seeds, it can grow really fast, but it can also grow really slowly, like a tree. Maybe we will die without seeing this tree becoming fully grown. Or maybe we will be able to follow the process. But what I mean to say is that everything that we do today will have a result in the future. Even if we die without seeing this result, it will materialize one day. We reap what we sow, and we must sow with commitment with the next generations. We have a lot to learn, and we must go further in seeking out alternatives. By hearing the elders and learning from my ancestors and communities about the plentiful and valuable indigenous knowledge, I can clearly see that war destruction and modern pain happens because people aren't able to recognize themselves as part of an environment, as a whole, as an ecosystem. They can recognize that we are connected, we are interdependent, and we can live at all if we keep destroying nature, animals, plants, and all other living beings. We come from nature. We are children of earth and nature. That's why we must protect her. We must see earth as sacred, as a house for all that we must take care for. This is what I learned with my ancestors. And this is the message that I want to give you and to all the world through this speech. We, as young people, must admit that we have this huge responsibility to nature, and no one but ourselves can do something about it. We need to provoke change now more than ever. We need to recognize that indigenous knowledge has value and it must be acknowledged. That indigenous knowledge has contemporary applications and it must be seen as a new path for the modern world. Our education puts collective strength, compassion, and observation ahead of individualism and materialism. Our agriculture is totally ecologic and clean. Our natural medicine and spirituality have been healing people for centuries. Our way of living can be the solution for climate change. That's why the empowerment and visibility of indigenous communities must happen so we can speak up and thrive. The progress of modern society must be positive and it needs to take steps forward. To progress, we must respect nature and her power of teaching. Progress is not nature destruction, inequality, and individualism. Progress is respect, love, and spiritual well-being. Progress is accepting diversity. Progress is respecting the environment we live in, keeping in mind that we have the future in our hands. Progress is and will always mean healing ourselves. The cure to modern pain will only begin when we recognize that all forms of life has value and that we are connected through universal ties. And also that this valuing of the collective is rooted in native wisdom and beliefs. We all have the power to sow hope, love, and respect. We all have the power to stop sowing and cultivating the seeds of destruction. Let's hear, let's talk, let's converse. Let's go further. Let's be questioners. Let's learn together with the elders, with the children, with the communities, indigenous, native communities. Let's learn with nature, our greatest teacher. Chuhapi chura, yomurisi, nyamitangi hanhão imba. Chuhapi mukape naon. Aweri nemiso. Ikota puritu, apetianã chaiwan. What I just say in my native language is that we must break the silence and protect the earth, the forests, and everything within. Let's do this together. Let's stand firm. Thank you, God, Mother and Father of nature and of all living things, for being here, having this opportunity to spread this message for the world. In the name of my ancestors and of all young generations which are craving change, but also for the future generations to come. Remember that old saying, colonization tried to bury us, tried to bury my people, but they forgot that we are seeds. Thank you.